What's going on, wonderful people? Today we are going to be rebuilding Everton. It's going to be one intense challenge today, so I'm going to attempt to win the Premier League. Whatever happens, we are doing 5 seasons of this rebuild, and I'm aiming to build an absolute powerhouse team. If you enjoy the rebuilds, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and if you like what you see at the end of the video, you can carry on this save file back home for yourselves by going over and checking out the Patreon link below, where also you get the tactics and multiple other perks, which if I remember, I'll pop on the screen very quickly. But let's get into the rebuild. Again, leave a comment below what you want to see next. Let's get into it. So then, this is going to be Everton inside of Football Manager. Now, Everton, we all know, are a massive team. Recently, I will say, maybe not the best, but reputation-wise, 3.5 star, incredible training, incredible youth, and decent youth recruitment. The owners, yeah, they don't exactly love the club, we'll say. They are rich, however, and what I will say is, as an actual club, we've got 9 Premier Division titles, 1 European Cup, 5 FA Cups, 1 Sky Bet Championship, and 9 English Community Shield. So we've got something going for us, but as you can see, we're going downwards at the moment, and my sort of aim is to turn that down into a complete up. Now, if we actually look at the team, I'm quite impressed because I'm going to play a basic 4-2-3-1, but we've got some ballers in this team. Calvert-Lewin, of course, his hamstring is made out of paper in real life, but this is a video game, so hopefully we can actually keep him fit because he looks absolutely remarkable. You then go over and look at some other players. This was a really impressive signing in Jesper Lindstrom, obviously from Napoli as well, an incredible player. Obviously on loan. If he's good, I'll try and buy him and keep him here permanently because he looks really impressive and I've used him before. A player you might not be thinking I'm going to mention, but Jack Harrison. A really solid player in this game. Of course, on loan from Leeds. Again, if he plays well, his value might be too much for us to buy. But for a first season, absolutely buzzing. Of course, you've got people like Garner, a player who Manchester United fans will always know. Honestly, he's okay in this game. He's not incredible. He sometimes develops into an absolute powerhouse. Sometimes he's pretty average. So we'll have to see what happens. Obviously, you got Mikalenko at left back. Pretty average, but very, very quick on the ball, which is a very good positive. Patterson, really good right back as well. And probably the most upcoming player out of this squad. I don't want to say that in case he leaves. I'm sorry, Everton fans, but Branthwaite. Obviously, a lot of Everton fans love him. A lot of big teams were interested. United would have obviously gone after him, but better options were available and wanted to join without any hassle. And what I think here is with this team, I'm going to try and play a 4-2-3-1. A lot of focus down the left and right with really attacking wing-backs because Patterson, again, very quick. Mikalenko, again, very quick. So I think we can really catch a lot of teams off guard. Now, what I will say is the contract situation at this team is pretty scary because if we go down, I usually worry about 1 year ahead. So that would be up to 2024. We have got all the way of this to do, which is quite worrying, to be honest with you. So that is where the money is going to be spent. Of course, we don't really make any signings apart from real life signings that have happened. You would have only had £1 million. The transfers look a little bit like this. So as you can see, the game has brought in the likes of Ndé, again, a player I've not even discussed, a really good option to have from Marseille as well. The players that have left have gone out as well. Obviously, Onana, a big loss there. Lewis Dobbin as well. But that is all done. And what I'm going to say now is let's get right into the first season. We're going to be playing in 4 competitions. We're already in the semi-finals of the Friendly Cup, and I would imagine they're predicting us to go down almost 17th place. I think with this team, with this tactic, and the knowledge, I think we can get inside the top 6. Let's go and see what we can do. We're going to start off in the Carabao Cup final against Liverpool of all teams. How we got here, I don't know. We go 1-0 down, Mo Salah masterclass. We do bounce back with Ashley Young with a free kick, but we collapsed in extra time. I'm going to be honest. As you can see, they make it 2-1 with McAllister. Little rebound there into an injured Salah, who still is able to score to make it 2-1. And they go on to win it 3-1 in the 105th minute. We were simply deflated at this point in the game. Jones, it's easy for him. We do, however, win the Friendly Cup, so we'll take that at least. FA Cup, we didn't make to the final. We didn't make to the semi-final. We made it to the quarter-final, where unfortunately we lose against Bolton. Of all teams, we get knocked out against Bolton. Okay, I'm worried for the Premier League. It's okay. It's okay. It's not a top 6 finish, but it's an 8th place finish. It might actually be a bit of a blessing in disguise because maybe European football was a step too far for us to handle in one season. What I have seen is Calvert-Lewin get the most amount of goals in the season, which is a bit unexpected. I said he was good, but I didn't think he was going to be that good. One of the biggest issues we've got is the amount of games we are drawing, and look at the list that is going to be appearing. And if I go on the home screen, we are the 7th best at goals conceded and the 3rd best at goals being scored, so not too far away from actually the league finish, to be honest. If we go over to the squad, it is going to be Calvert-Lewin carrying with 51 goals. Jack Harrison, he had a good season, but I would imagine if we go into his player profile now, how much money are they going to want for him? They are going to want 27 to 41 million. Not going to pay anywhere near 40 million, I can tell you that. Jesper Lindstrom, 8 and 10. Is he going to be that cheap? Because if he is, I will buy him because it's an okay season. 4.1 to 6.4, I would pay around the £4 million mark. Hopefully we can get him for that. Other than 20 assists here from Ghana from midfield, incredible. Dwight McNeil, load of assists as well. Mikalenko with 7, 5 for Guy coming in there. I will say, it's an okay season. It's hard to get really excited about a season like this because we've not won anything apart from a friendly cup. But I mean, a Champions League, a final in a competition, I was going to say the Champions League then, in the Carabao Cup is fairly good. The friendly cup is what it is. The Premier League, we didn't get relegated. We probably overachieved massively compared to the prediction, and we have been given a budget of 32 million, more than that. £36 million to go and spend. Now, realistically, looking at this team, probably better to do it in the squad screen, actually. Once again, we have got so many contracts to sort out because now we have to factor in the players that are leaving in 2025 and get them locked in. And if you look at some of the names going up this list, there's some players we cannot afford to lose. Ashley Young will probably be leaving because he's 39. But overall, we might lose a lot of these players because I might want to move on after what is a decent season. But usually when players have a decent season in a decent team, they go to an elite team. So we'll try and keep people like Calvert-Lewin, for example. We've also got to spend money on trying to bring in Lindstrom on the permanent and strengthen the team generally because we're trying to push on and push on and push on. So let's get in to Season 2 and let's see what we did. First up, we are going to wave goodbye to Idrissa Gueye. He does actually leave and he plays pretty much a perfect 34 out of 34 games he could over in France and dropped a decent rating, so fair play to him. Thomas Coleman, a Everton legend, is going to go to Hoffenheim, where again, he played a lot of appearances and somehow, do you know what? He didn't even play too bad. And how old is he now? He's 37. Fair play. Pope has gone in real life, so I thought, do you know what? It might be somewhat realistic if I do offload him, and we are going to let him go on the free to Brest, where he played 34, scored 12. Not a bad return, considering he was a bit on the decline for us. First signing, sorry Liverpool fans, is going to be Sadio Mane, coming in from the Saudi League, taking a mad pay cut from God knows what he was on there, all the way down to £22,000 a week, and I purely got him because he was on the free, and he is 34, but for a season, he will do a job. We are then going to bring in Kobbie Mainoo, a bit of an instalment signing, but not expensive to be honest, £28 million. We've signed him very, very early, and he dropped a 7 match rating across all competitions. Again, we played him predominantly in the Premier League locked in, so some of the games he probably wasn't fully fit, but he still played. Probably overworked him a little bit in the first season, but this is a player who is one of the hottest talents in world football, and he's now an Everton player. We also go and pick up the B-Tech Bellingham. That is going to be Joe Bellingham, the man on the thumbnail, and as you can see, again, locked in for every single game, come for £8 million, an absolute steal. Kobbie and Joe Bellingham in midfield. It's a dream. Cup right back is needed, and I've gone pretty budget friendly. I have gone in and brought in Joe Scally, who actually ended up playing 23 games and dropping a 7.11 match rating, £6 million. Bargain. Same for the left back. A backup left back is going to be Mitchell Bakker, a player who potentially could actually compete with Mikalenko, and did he? He played 18 games, come in for 3 million, dropped to 6.98. I'll take it. I'm also going to pick up Armand coming in, and I will say it's a player I have never signed. I purely got him because he's quick, got great dribbling, and just looks a very nippy winger and quite tough to defend against, and can play on the left and the right. He come in for £24 million, only £4 million paid up front, and he played 36 out of 38, 5 goals, 7 assists. I will say maybe a bit of an average season, but for an entry season, he offers something a little bit different. I like it. did secure the permanent signing of Jesper Lindstrom. He comes in and he actually contributed with 13 goals, 10 assists, and a 7.24 match rating. He was locked in for the entire season, and he only cost me £5 million. We're going to welcome in Paredes as well. He comes in on the free. He only played 3 games for us, but do you know what? For a free signing, bit of depth, we'll take it. And with the experience he's gained in his career, he's welcome any day. Also, Roland Salali, I believe so you say that, come in from Freiburg, a very, very tricky winger again, predominantly can play on the right. He comes in and he contributed a decent amount to us, 8 goals, 11 assists, and also cost us literally nothing. So a great team. And as you can see, I would say, if you look at the transfer window, we brought in so many good players and lost some pretty average players. How did we do in the season? Because with these sorts of signings, I'm saying top 4 minimum. That's what we've done. We've won the Premier League in Season 2. I mean, we've still got stuff to push on for. I want to go and try and win the Champions League. This is what happens when you use my tactics and you make the right signings. You completely cook everyone. And do you know what? Calvert-Lewin, again, top goal scorer. Patterson the most assists, Pickford the joint first amount of most clean sheets as well. What a season. Only 4 points over Man City, but I don't care. We have completely transformed this team with one complete window. As a squad, we have actually come out, and let's look at the stats. 72 goals for DCL across all competitions, that is. 22 for Lindstrom, Sadio Mane coming in with 20, 18 coming in for the new man, another new man with 12 there, and assist-wise, 28 for Patterson, Mikolenko with 25. Now they've got a main man up front who is firing at the best he can in DCL. They're getting 25 and 28 assists a season. 21 coming in for the new man, Lindstrom with 20, 16 for Sadio Mane, 11 for Joe Bellingham. What a season that is. A remarkable time. Did we win any other competitions? We've won the Conference League as well, 9-2. That is an incredible season. 2 ridiculous things to win. The rest of the cups I'm not even going to care about because that is an immaculate season. I guarantee the budget is at least 70 million. It is 146 million pounds, and we are gonna go and spend. We've got money, we've won the Premier League, we've won the Conference League. We're gonna go and transform this team. We're going to be moving like Man City. An incredible time. And you know what? These are the players that we actually locked in. So I actually didn't even lock in Lindstrom. We'll go over and pick by the best 11. It is now going to be Paredes in there. I don't like that. Don't like it. Let me get Bellingham back in there because this 2 here is beautiful. But this back line, this midfield, this front 3, and the striker, I mean, honestly, what a season. Probably the best I've actually had in a rebuild with a team like Everton. No disrespect, but I thought it was going to take 3 or 4 seasons to build a Premier League winning side. But let's go into Season 3. I'm absolutely buzzing. People don't get younger, do they? So I have decided to actually get a replacement sort of set in stone for Jordan Pickford when the time's come. That is going to be Philippe, coming in from Chelsea for £32 million. He come in and only played 3 games because obviously Pickford is still here, but at least we're prepared. Nathan Collins is going to come in. It seems like an Everton signing. I try and go realistic if I can, and he comes in from Brentford for 45 million and dropped a 7.11. He dominated. The player that I'm getting used to signing now, and I'm sorry if I sign him a lot, but Robert Renan is going to come in from Zenit, and you know what? He cost me £7 million. He played a perfect games in the Premier League. A 6.9 isn't the best of the best, but he didn't put a foot wrong. We were defensively incredible, and he just is like a solid option. And for that price tag, he's on low wage as well. You can't really complain. This is going to be a very unique signing because I've never signed Andrea before. He's going to come in on the free from Brianza, and he comes in 35 appearances, 5 goals, 4 assists. It's not remarkable, but for a player to add depth into the team, I'm all for it. I saw this man on the market. I've never heard of him before, but he looks like a very, very solid sort of DM. 16 tackling, great marking, good work rate, good stamina, 24 years of age. He cost me £6 million. He comes in, 33 games, drops a 7 match rating, 4 player of the matches, or 4 assists, sorry. he actually done quite well. I've never signed him. If anyone's watching this video and you've used this guy, does he develop usually this well? Lastly, one of my favourite centre-backs / right-backs to sign is going to be Biomo. Coming in from Nottingham Forest, he cost me £34 million. He only played 20 games, so just under half the games or over half the games that are available to him, but still a decent season, dropping a 7 rating, and just a player that looks like an absolute unit. And once again, we have come in and signed a lot more positives than the players that left. In fact, we only had one player leave, which was Martin Sheriff, so nothing too worrying there. At the end of the day, nothing too special about him. So what I will say is, the team once again has improved. Now, it's going to be hard to win back-to-back Premier League titles, but dare we dream? For those of you that did dream, you were correct, because we have won back-to-back Premier League titles with Everton inside of 3 seasons. Some would say it's a masterclass. Calvert-Lewin with 37 goals, not the best because Erling Haaland has turned up finally, but still a very valiant effort. Our fullbacks first and second when it comes to the assists. Now, there's a lot of glaze going around Calvert-Lewin at the moment and the new signings. These two people here might be the most important players in the team because they're playing like prime Robertson and Trent when it comes to getting the assists. And going over to the squad, we are going to be seeing 60 goals for DCL, 24 coming in for Sadio Mane, who, by the way, is now, how old is he? 35. Is he moving on? He is retiring after this season. 20 goals coming in for Roland. We've got Andrea with 12, 11 coming in for Armand, Beto coming in with 11, 10 for Nathan Collins, 30 assists there from Mikalenko. Patterson with 20, 13 for Sadio Mane, 12 coming in there for Roland. We've got Paredes with 12, obviously is still playing incredibly well for a 32-year-old man. Now, what I will say is, once again, the contract situation has come to bite us. So let's just look at this. So this point upwards is what we're focusing on. Jake O'Brien can go, Holgate can go, DCL can't go, Ryan Ashley can go, Virginia, he could go, Paredes want to keep for another season, Tim could go, Sadio Mane is going, Decore can go, Tarkowski's retiring, Dwight McNeil has to stay, Pickford, I'll listen to offers, Michael Keane can go, Zhang can go, McAllister can go, Harry can go. So actually, not too many players to stress about, only 3 or 4 players in there that I really want to go ahead and keep. But we've won the Premier League. What else did we do? Of course, we were in the Community Shield against Chelsea, and we get off to a very good start here. With Patterson, a great example of how good the wing-backs are in this team. Actually, a great goal from him. Patterson now finds Solani in the middle, into Sadio Mane, into the top left corner to make it 2 inside of 30 minutes. And Kunku tucks away a nice penalty to make it 2-1. And it looks like Chelsea here make a big boy error as DCL plays it into Mane, into Lindstrom to make it 3-1. And we go again to make it 4-1. Mikalenko into Patterson, into Paredes, into the bottom left. I believe they get a consolation. They do get a consolation goal. It's a pretty decent goal, but it means absolutely nothing. We lift the trophy. We also had some pretty interesting stuff happen because we're runners-up in the Champions League, where unfortunately Man City were a little bit too much. But even in that competition, Calvert-Lewin, top goal scorer, Mikalenko, most amount of assists, an incredible showcase of how good these players are becoming. And we also made it to the Carabao Cup final again, losing in extra time. Again, very frustrating, but at least we are getting to these finals. The only final we didn't get to is the FA Cup. Again, a quarter-final exit against Liverpool. But we are really laying down the foundation of what appears to look like a European dominating side. We're really making a name for ourselves. Our first real display in the Champions League, we get to the final and we didn't even really get blown away. It's only a couple of goals. Back-to-back Premier League titles. I'm expecting some Wonga. We have been given £135 million to go into the next season. And once again, we've discussed the contract situation. Not a lot of money is going to have to be spent to keep those players here. We can spend that on improving the team. Let's go and do it. So I think I've got an addiction to signing goalkeepers because I always like to have 2 very up-and-coming goalkeepers that can compete and we're going to be future-proofed, especially for those of you that are going to carry on this save file. We are going to pick up Bart van Bruggen, coming in from Brighton. He cost me a total of 30 million, only played 4 games, so he's still very early on in getting a guaranteed place in this team, but he looks really, really good. I've used him before. Welcome in. We're then going to go and pick up Darami. Now, this is going to be one of the few luxury signings you're going to see because he cost me a total of 80 million, but he comes in his first season, scores 17 goals, 2 assists, and drop a 7 match rating. That is a great introduction to the Prem. Johan Bakayoko. Now, you might think, Josh, have you spent another 100 million? I haven't. I spent 35 million, 31 games, 9 goals, 10 assists. picked up 2 player of the matches, a 7.22 average rating, a real strong display from this man. And you know what? He adds a lot. We've just introduced Durrami and Bakayoko on the wings. We're going to take over. And if that's not enough, I'm going to throw some more spice into the mix. We're going to pick up Univar, a player who was rumoured to come to Manchester United. I think he's good enough to come to Manchester United, but we pick him up for £38 million. He's 18 goals, 9 assists in his first season, a 7.14 average rating, and he has taken this team and he has moulded himself into it. What a man, what a display. And as you can see, we do lose 3 players here, nothing too drastic, and once again, 3 seasons back to back, we have improved so much in terms of quality. We've got Durrami, Bakayoko, an incredible goalkeeper that can be played as backup, which is an absolute luxury, and Univar. I would not be surprised if we win the Premier League 3 times back to back. I've got to go and find out. Can't believe it's Everton dominance. It is 3 years back to back. We're like Man City, and what I love about this is we have got Univar in second place, Calvert-Lewin in third place with goals. The new man coming in, already setting a statement in the Premier League. Mykolenko, the best left-back in the game it appears to be, and Pickford still playing well in probably his last season with 13 clean sheets. What a performance it has been in the Premier League throughout this entire rebuild. Now the squad we are going to go and have a little look at. 25 goals coming in there for Univar. I will say we've lost a big man. We've lost a man with 60 goals, 50 goals, 70 goals. We've lost that man, but we have gained, obviously, 3 players there with 25 each almost. Durrami had a great season as well, 18 for Bakayoko. These winger signings really were expensive, I will say, but they are playing very, very well. 12 coming in there for Lindstrom, and assist-wise, 24 for Mykolenko, Garner with 17, Bakayoko with 16, 15 for Univar, Lindstrom with 12, Patterson, bit of a quieter season, Baka even having 6, a real strong season, but as we've got to find out, let's find out about the money first. We have got 175 million. How much of that have we got to spend on contracts? Because we've got to focus down to 2028. So, Joe Bellingham hasn't really developed too much, but he needs to stay because he is the star boy. Hopefully, he will get a stint in the team soon. Kobbie Mainoo has got to stay. He's 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 got to stay. Jacob Breen can go. Holgate can go. Calvert-Lewin, I might listen to offers because he's not now scoring his 60, which I know is a ridiculous stat line, but he might now be slowly slowing up with goals. Ryan can go. Virginia can go. Pickford can go. Paredes can go. McAllister can go. So let's go actually. We've got a few players to sell now potentially, which would give us even more than 170 million. Of course, we've got to go and find out what else we've won so far, but I mean, I think we could be going into the next transfer window with, after we've sold players potentially, 200 million. We also are going to win the FA Cup 2-0 against Tottenham, and you know what? They gifted us the first goal in the 62nd minute, and they offered nothing. Bakayoko links it up into Patterson down the right-hand side, into Beto, trophy 2. A little bit lucky in the Community Shield as Chelsea did dominate us, but we do go on to win it in the 94th minute, last kick of the game. Have some of that. Other than that, it is going to be another runners-up trophy in the Champions League against Man City. Again, back-to-back Champions League finals. This time we lose by 1 goal. Does that mean next time we're going to draw and then go to extra time? I don't know, but that is so annoying. Runners up in the Carabao Cup, again, this time to Aston Villa. It is a good season, despite getting to another final, or 2 finals and bottling them both. It's still a treble-winning season, and this Everton team is making the Premier League look a bit like the Saudi League at this point. It is such dominance, it is ridiculous. But let's get into the next season. Again, a lot of money to go and spend, and you best know I'm trying to win this Champions League. I've done it. I've gone over and gone big with some installments. I've picked up Evan Ferguson, a similar play style for DCL in my opinion. He comes in with 106 million on his head. He played 31 games, scored 22 goals, 3 assists, 4 player of the matches, and dropped over a 7 match rating. And if you just look at this man, he is the perfect striker. Ande, you've signed him, I've signed him, your brother signed him. Everyone signed him. He is absolutely incredible. He comes in for a total of 37 million, plays 32 games, and does what he does best. He's an absolute unit. Another player that comes usually on the free around this time of a game, Nunes is going to come in. Actually looks really well balanced. Yes, he's on the older side, but he comes in, he actually plays a load of games for us and drops above a 7 match rating, which I will take because I won't say he's world class, but he's good at a selection of things. Lastly, we pick up Adam Karabic, coming in from Sparta Prague. He's 25 years of age, looks really, really good. The perfect AM in my opinion. He comes in for 19 million, plays 33 games, scores 20 goals, picks up 10 assists, 6 player of the matches, and drops a 7.53. Probably signing of the season, but as you can see, we do lose Virginia, Pickford, who goes to PSG on the free, Paredes, who goes on the free, but once again, I would still say we have strengthened a lot more than what we have gone and lost. So a real big set of... We've had an incredible time with transfers. If you look through the pages very briefly, we have brought in some absolute ridiculous names. All the way from Season 2, all the way through to Season 5. But the big question is, have I won the Champions League in Season 5? Well, unfortunately, we'll start off with the Premier League because we're not going to win it 4 times on the bounce, and I'm saying that like I should be sad. I don't know why. That clearly the standards we've set are so high. Chelsea come out and actually put on a great season, and I'm going to go and look at what they've sort of cooked up in 5 years. They've got Marco Rose in charge, and their team looks like this. A very interesting system. I knew it would be that system with Marco Rose in charge, but fair play to them. They've got the job done. You can't hate it. It's a very strong season, and to be honest, we're probably due a Premier League loss. Merseyside FA Cup final against Liverpool, and we are going to take the lead here with Bakayoko doing Bakayoko things to make it 1-0 in 16 minutes. To make it 2-0 now, we're going to have Biomo coming into Nunes, who goes alone, proving why he's still available on the market and why he should be picked up to make it 2. Diamande into Patterson over the top, and that is one hell of a strike to win it. And Evan Ferguson is going to be the difference maker in the Carabao Cup against Leeds, a 1-0 win. We also are going to lift the Community Shield, meaning we won every single English Cup trophy possible. But the Champions League quarterfinals, it's not as good, and we did face up against PSG, and it wasn't a battering overall, it was 5-4, but that is going to be a failed Champions League win, which I'm a little bit annoyed about, to be honest. Now, of course, the challenge for you back home is to get this save file and the tactic. You can make signings, and it is to win the Champions League. That is your challenge, and I'm going to give you 2 seasons to do it. That is your challenge. As always, send me the pictures of you doing it, because I absolutely love to see you guys prove me wrong. And I will say, going over to the squad, we actually are going to end with, if I can select it, a very good season for Evan Ferguson. Karabek, a great season, 17 there for Univar. Bakayoko with 16, 14 for Calvert-Lewin. We are going to have 19, 19, 18, 15 and 10. I have left you with a team that is absolutely thriving. And also, you've got some players who are sort of middle-aged, but if you are a player who wants to bring in young talent, you've got a budget of 200 and more than that, 240 million pounds basically. So you can have so much fun with this save. So make sure you go over and get it if you want to carry it on. And if you have enjoyed the rebuild, you want to get this and the tactic, you know where to go. And honestly, I'm going to say it, I'm not an Everton fan, but probably the funnest rebuild I've done, because I just love the way we got cooking so quickly in the Premier League. If you have enjoyed, be sure to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll be seeing you in the next one. Enjoy the rest of your day.